Hello.
Hi.
Yes. Hello. Yes.
What's your name?
Sierra.
Hi, Sierra.
Hello.
You look happy.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, did you know there's little balls of energy that are in the corners?
Are there?
Yes.
We've been told that, so you see
Oh,
them?
oh yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Oh, one in that corner and one in that corner. Oh yes.
And so you notice them too, huh?
Oh yes.
You're
Yes.
good at sensing that?
Oh, very much. Yes.
Very neat. Your mom's here.
Oh yes. I sense that. Hello, mother. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Wait. Oh, I thought I was dreaming. No. Well. Oh, hello, mother. Sorry, I was a bit distracted. There's a lot that's different. I wish I could say I'm dreaming, but I'm not. But anyway, I must be traveling somewhere.
You are. It's kind of like a dream, but your physical body's there with your mom,
Oh.
and your energetic body's here with us.
Oh, okay. Well then, oh, I look much different.
You do?
Yes.
What's different?
Oh, I don't look like a kitty.
Oh, because you're speaking through a human body, right?
Oh,
So that we can understand you in a human voice.
oh, well that's interesting. Because, well, oh, okay. Well, mother, yes, I guess I'll assume that you've wanted to do this, so that everything is okay. So I will just, I'll be here for whatever takes place, and I guess we'll see what happens, because this is quite interesting. I've not quite experienced this.
It is different and interesting,
Yes.
but I think you'll find it enjoyable.
Okay.
And essentially, we just want to ask some questions. Can we ask you some questions?
Oh yes, of course.
Wonderful, thank you. Do you have any opening message you'd like to share with your mom now that you have a human voice?
Well, Oh, well, yes. Oh. Okay. So, yes. Where would I like to begin? Well, first I want to say that I'm very grateful for you and everything you've done for me. It's been such a. It's been so wonderful because it's not quite the. It's not quite the life I expected. Oh, it's much better. Yes. Because everything is right there for me. I'm comfortable. I have a place to sleep. I have all my food. I have a place to go to the bathroom. But yet, everything is just... Everything is different than what I expected. And maybe that's, I'm not quite sure, because I would have to, well, yes. I don't know if you'll understand this or not. Well, I don't know where to begin because it's very interesting. I can't say that I'm. It's not like I've. Oh yes, I've been on a long journey before I came here. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And this is not. These surroundings, they're not quite the same as where I've come from. I don't know how to explain.
And when you say a long journey, do you mean a long journey in this particular incarnation?
Oh, no. It was the journey to get into this body.
Oh,
yes.
Well, do tell us as best you can. That sounds fascinating.
Oh, yes. Yes. There's a bit more energy entered the room. Oh, okay. Sorry, I get distracted easy. So, I understand how it happens to come into a body, and I don't know if you could say the normal way, but the way I think you understand it. There's a great source of energy, and everyone's there, and then there's a placement, and you understand that that's where you have to go, and then you have your assignment, and then you arrive, and you live that life, and you understand that life, and whether it's with a human or by itself. This is different, and I don't. I don't come from that big general source of energy.
Interesting.
Yes. I believe you would understand it best if you understood, yes, the stars that are outside in your, outside of your world.
Okay.
Yes. This is why I'm in the cat form. I best represented that way, and I've always been represented that way. But this is the first time I've been here on this place. Yes, I guess you would say this planet. Yes.
Does that mean you're a Lyran?
Oh, yes, that's exactly right.
Oh, neat.
Yes, yes. There are a few of us that have come to this planet like this. And it's quite interesting because and not many people understand that. It's a quite interesting place to be. The process is quite similar. We know that we get assigned, but the journey's different. We take a different path. And then we bring everything that we know, kind of, I guess you would say, prepackaged. All the information that we know, and we bring it into this body. And then we try to, we try to convey that to anybody that's around us.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
This is the first time I've ever heard that.
Oh,
I'm so
interesting.
excited.
Okay. Yes.
Because I come from a Lyran lineage as well.
Oh, yes.
Do you know that? Do you recognize other Lyran beings?
Not to the extent that you would. It is a bit different because when we are assigned and we are brought into a physical body like this on another planet, I don't know. It's sometimes the words are difficult, but it's the connections that we would normally recognize aren't as strong, and I think that's purposeful. We're really here to be, how would you say, solitary. We're to do our mission by ourselves.
Meaning without humans as well?
Yes, yes. But not in a way that, no, that's not correct. Yes, meaning not recognizing that another human's another Lyran.
Right.
Yes, but to be, yes, paired with humans or be by ourselves, just like a normal animal would be, a normal cat would be, whether that's to be with humans or not with humans. Yes, we're still to be like that, but it is to understand that the recognition.
That makes sense.
We don't have a recognition, a deep recognition.
So this is fascinating, and I want to ask several questions about that, if I may. And I just want to let your mom know that we'll go long if we need to, because this is an interesting tangent that I haven't heard before. But so, what would make you choose as a Lyran being to come into an animal form rather than a human?
Oh, yes.
Or do you just have that choice when you're coming from that star system?
Okay. So, that's a quite interesting question. So you understand yourself as being Lyran, but you're in a human form. There's a difference between the my presence here in the feline existence. It is very representative of how we would appear to you in our natural state.
Right.
But when the Lyran decides that it's going to connect with the human, it's more of an energetic, what's the word? It's more of an energetic field that is applied over the human. And so you carry that field around with you, so it's not that you're being fully present as a pure Lyran.
But you are more
Yes.
fully present as a pure.
Yes, that is correct.
Wow. And so is there something significant and better or different about that versus coming in as a human form? Is there something else you could accomplish in your form versus a human form?
Oh yes, of course.
So what was your purpose then in doing so in this incarnation?
Oh yes. There's several purposes. From the from the aspect of being associated with the human that I'm associated with my mother that I'm associated with, that itself, that mission or that that purpose is patience. So you have to understand that living the existence here in this body and being introduced to humans that take care of us, there is going to be a great level of patience that's needed.
For you.
Yes, because we're aligning ourselves to our existence here, and it's much different than our existence back home.
Right.
Yes. So the human that interacts with us is going to need a great deal of patience to allow us to adjust.
So patience both ways.
Yes. But then there's a greater, it's not only for the other animals that I get to interact with, sometimes physically and non-physically, but it's also interacting with the planet itself. So we bring, like I said, prepackaged all of the information. You, if you have that overlay, yes, of the Lyran, you're only allowed to bring forth just a small bit, because it's not your full mission.
Right.
So you only have access to a small portion of the prepackaged amount that I bring in.
Right.
So when I come in, I have all of the information that's then brought here, and your planet then utilizes certain portions of that. And then the other humans that I interact with, they sense a certain amount of information. They might not quite understand it, but it's being received. The other animals, whether it's physically or non-physically, they also are receiving a bit of this information. And this is for, I guess you would say, the greater whole of your planet. It's the greater understanding of your planet.
So in the form that you exist in, you can give and receive more to other beings and to the planet than I could as a Lyran.
Yes.
Or any other regular animal.
That's correct, yes.
Fascinating
That is
information.
correct.
How many of you are there that are represented as animals? Do you have any idea?
Oh.
Is that frequent? Does it happen often? Because I've never encountered one.
As far as this type of interaction where it's, you would call it a pet, and the humans then take care of us, that's less frequent than the wild animals.
Okay.
Yes, there are more wild animals, but because of the way my alignment was, it was purposeful for me to interact with the humans. So that's less frequent. Number-wise, I could not give you a number because, well, it is quite interesting because I can't quite explain the numbers, but I can explain that there's an influx and a discharge daily, and it's dependent upon many factors upon your planet. So at any one point there may be I don't know, there may be 200 that come in and 300 that leave.
I see.
It's just dependent upon what's needed at the time and in the particular location and what is the current mission.
Amazing. And so are there other galactic races that do this as well? I'm sure, other than just Lyran.
Oh yes. Your planet is quite active, yes.
And do you, as a Lyran, typically take on then the lion or cat-like features, whereas
Yes,
an
if we come in-
Andromedan might come in as a different?
If we come in into physical form, we will take on the physical form that we would best be represented back in our home planet, yes.
As do the other galactic races? They come in
Yes,
as other?
some do come in as their yes, as their as they'd be represented as their home planet, but then because many are not
Animal-like.
yes, many are not animal-like, but many of the inhabitants of your planet, the humans of your planet, they some are ready to see, but many are not. So they the word I don't know the word.
Awakened?
They
or-
cloak themselves.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
they're present, but it's very hard to see.
I mean, we can't physically see the animal. Is that what you mean?
Or the other beings, yes.
Right.
The animals, yes, you will see if it is an animal or even an insect. So you're interesting. There are a number of different insects that have inhabited your planet that are not of your planet.
Wow.
The mantis.
Yes.
I don't have the name for it. I believe. What is the name for it? I don't know the name.
What does
for
it look like?
It's a small. It's been around. It's been around on your planet from the beginning. It likes to live in the dirt.
A worm?
No, it is not a worm. It's one that would roll up into a little ball.
Not a roly-poly insect.
Oh.
There's little roly-polies.
Oh
that-
yes.
Oh,
I think so.
really?
Yes. Those are purposeful as well.
Wow.
I'm not quite sure the planet they come from, but yes, that is one. Yes, there are many other animals as well that are represented from other planets and other solar systems that are here on your planet. Your planet is inhabited probably by more alien life than there is human life.
Amazing. I did understand that praying mantises can sometimes have a mantis being looking
Yes.
through them. Yes.
Yes.
Fascinating. This is great. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so getting back to your current mom,
Yes.
my understanding is you had a previous mom named Dawn.
Yes.
And so when you come in this form, as opposed to being cleaved from the all,
Yes.
do you still have an assignment, an agreement, a contract with the humans that are going to take care of you as a pet then? Do you have that same agreement? How does that work?
That agreement is a bit different. Yes, in the conventional means it is you could say it is a contract. This is more of an energetic bonding that has been sent forward. How do I explain this? When the as you say, when you're cleaved off of the all, that has been agreed upon and put into the humans' contract, the humans' aspect of their life, and at some point there will be that intersection of a pet, of an animal that they will then take care of. But in this case, we... So, this is interesting because I don't think I've ever had to explain this.
Probably not.
So, in this case, we know that we're going to, we'll say, your planet, planet Earth. We know we're going to go, and that is where we're going to be. So, we ourselves, as the Lyran, we begin the process of pushing that energy out towards your planet. And it is, I guess you could say it is similar, but we push that energy. And then once we see a point of reception, then we, I guess you could say, lock that connection together. Then it's a matter of finding a suitable body, and we enter in. So the animal itself could be new, brand new, born, or could be a bit older. But we then allow our energy to integrate in, not disrupting the current animal, but we integrate into it seamlessly and pair with it. So there isn't a difference. You would never notice, you would never understand. But we know that the human that we're with received our signal, and then we paired with the animal that was meant to be with them. Then the animals then are connected to them.
I see. So then the energy that was that animal, in the case of not a newborn,
Yes.
that energetic soul, if you will, shares the body with you?
Yes.
Doesn't depart. So you would have to
Doesn't.
have that soul's permission to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is part of the process of sending forth our energy ahead. So you can look at it this way: it's received by two. When I say it's received by both parties. It's received by the humans that are going to accept that animal into their home and be part of their family, and then the animal itself receives the energy and agrees that, okay, I will share this existence with you.
Wow.
Yes.
So the human that takes that animal in, do they have some sort of unconscious or subconscious understanding that at some point it might be an extraterrestrial being?
If
Or
they
is that not
if they so
necessary?
choose to have that understanding of that existence, they would begin to sense that, but not quite question it. They may be looking at the animal a bit differently. Like, I know there's something there, but I'm not quite sure what it is, because our purpose isn't to be witnessed. Our purpose is to be quite quiet about what we do.
I see.
Yes.
So that's interesting, because your current mom says that she can speak to beings in other realms, but she seems to have difficulty speaking to you in that way.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about your communication with your current mom.
Yes. That is quite interesting.
And how can she better communicate with you?
Well, I think now that, this experience has taken place, the communication will take place differently, because I can hear everything clearly that Mother is saying. As a matter of fact, I can hear what all beings are saying quite clearly and understand them.
Verbally and telepathically.
Yes, verbally and telepathically. But it is our agreement to allow the animal to make that communication. It is not our place to make that communication. If the animal itself wishes not to fully communicate, then that's the animal's choice. Because again, as you called it, the soul, the energy of that animal is the energy of that animal. And it still has control of that animal. We are just we're sharing a ride.
I see.
Yes, but we're fully integrated with that animal.
So at this point, I'm not speaking to the soul of the animal, I'm speaking to the galactic being inside, or both combination?
At this point, it is a bit of a combination, because you did call the animal, yes, and since I'm present, yes, you asked a specific question, and then it was...
So you stepped forward
yes,
to answer that.
Yes, and I can slide aside if you wish, and allow Sierra to her full essence to answer questions as well, if you wish.
Well, how about if we do this? If the question pertains more to Sierra, and some will,
Yes.
maybe she can just, can you back and forth?
Oh,
Step
yes.
forward? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's
And
amazing.
You can just, you can ask for Sierra specifically, and you can ask for the Lyran specifically.
At what point did you agree to have this intersection with the Lyran Being? Did you?
Oh.
Do you remember how long ago that was? Was that early on in your life?
Yes, I was quite young, yes.
And tell me about that from your experience.
Oh,
What do you like about it, or?
well, it was like, I do enjoy it now. It was a bit difficult to get adjusted to it. But once I got adjusted to it, it's quite interesting. It was like sharing my body with someone. It was like, but they were very quiet. Never really, never did anything that I didn't want to do. It was just more, it was as if somebody was like riding with me, that's all. It wasn't uncomfortable. But, so, I just remember there was a moment, I was by myself, and it was like somebody was calling my name, but it wasn't my name, but I knew it was me. It was quite interesting. In my thoughts, I could always, like someone was there calling me, and I wasn't sure. But I just answered it at one point. I said, well, I'm here. What would you want? And that's when this other voice, and now I understand who it is, but this other voice started talking to me. And we made an agreement. And that's when it took place.
How neat.
Yes.
It's fascinating, really.
It was. It's quite interesting because sometimes I forget we're together like that. Because I live my life, and they do what they want, doing their thing. Sometimes I feel a bit of energy run through me, but maybe that's too why I get a bit ornery. Because I get this like sense in me like I've got something to do, and I got to go do it, and then it settles down.
Sometimes we call that the zoomies, when our
Oh yes, I
cats or
understand what
dogs
those are.
run
Yes,
back and forth.
yes, it's much different than that.
Is
This is more like this is something I have to do right now and go do this thing. I have to go outside, or I have to sit here and do something. I don't know what that something is though, and that's when, yes.
So I have a feeling it might be that the Lyran needs to transmute or infuse some energy in a particular place at that time. Would that be accurate?
I don't know, because again, it takes place separately from what I do.
Right.
So I know when Mother's not feeling well, or when Miss Dawn wasn't feeling well. I knew that, and I would go do what I need to do, and that's different. And I understood that, and it
Right.
feels different. This is like you get a sensation that you have to go to a certain place, and you go there, but you don't know why, and something happens. You don't know what it is, and then you're like, okay, I'll go do whatever I need to do now. So it's taking place completely differently than separately. That's what that best
I see.
word. Separately from the Lyran doesn't give me all the information. He
I
just
see.
requests to go to a certain place, and then I go.
That makes sense. I do have a couple of other quick questions for the Lyran, if I may.
Okay. Yes.
I just wanted to know if you being in Sierra's body helps Sierra live longer, and for example, if she had any sort of issue that might make her transition and your work was not done, would you be able to heal that, for example?
Oh, that is a good question. In some circumstances, yes. If our full mission hasn't been completed, we will sustain the body a bit longer. But if we also see that the body itself must transition, then we'll conclude where we're at, and then we'll continue that process on another mission. You have to understand the missions that we're given are much greater than the existence that the animal that we inhabit. So we have to only go so far with the the existence that we're in.
And do you ever come in pairs or more than one together in a home, for example?
No, we try not to.
Okay.
That becomes a bit complicated because, like I said, our missions are solitary, and if for some reason, and this is very unlikely, but if for some reason that when I'm sending my signal out and it's being received, and another Lyran is sending their signal out and it's being received, and those two animals at some point are brought into the same home, yes, then we'll agree that we'll do what we can to be separated. Not in a way that we would harm the animal itself as far as transitioning it, but we would energetically try to allow the humans to know that we must be separated.
Aha, I
Yes.
see. And so when you picked Sierra,
Yes.
Sierra's body, did it have anything to do with Dawn or Christian? With those particular humans? Or was it purely circumstantial with Sierra?
No. That was, again, that was the agreement that was received. So at the time, yes, this was just the agreement that was received, and that's the bonding that we made.
Thank you. And when Sierra explained that energetically she just needed to run to a particular place or go outside, was that because you needed to do something there?
Yes. So how that process takes place is when there's a particular point in our mission or in that process of imparting information. It's kind of like the signal we send out. We send out a very small signal of saying we must get the body to a certain place, and so then the animal itself acts on their own, and it may not be right at that moment that we give the signal or the request to move to go to that location. It might be the next day, but we'll eventually get to where we need to be.
I see, but
Yes.
it wouldn't cause Sierra to run away anywhere.
Oh no, we would never do that. No, if
Okay.
an animal is paired with a human and that's where they're supposed to be and that's their mission, then we will never do anything to do that. That would be purely the animal's choice.
Okay.
We will never affect an animal's choice to do what they need to do.
I see.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, because I have a Lyran connection, oftentimes when I do sessions with humans and speak to humans and their higher selves, they'll have a Lyran connection as well. So was there any influence at all in causing Christian to bring you in for a session? Did that have anything at all to do with you and your energy and my energy?
No,
Or was
this was
purely coincidental?
This
Okay.
was purely coincidental. Yes,
Right.
when you are working with another human, there's a different different energetic connection that takes place because it is that overlay, as you would like to call it, that takes place, and the communication that takes place from overlay to overlay will coordinate those meetings. Yes.
And so you did say that your information coming from the pet perspective versus mine with an overlay, are you able to recognize me as a Lyran, did you say, or no?
And not initially, but as I sit here with your energy, then I can sense that overlay and I can sense the presence of that Lyran energy. It is not as if another Lyran is actually sitting in the room. It is say it's being projected around you from the
That's right.
actual Lyran. Yes.
Right. And do you have any idea if your mom, Christian, is Lyran?
There is Lyran energy connected, yes, but it is not a full overlay.
Not primary.
No, it is not primary.
Awesome. Well, I am so thankful to talk to you, and I'm so glad that I asked the question that brought you forward, and I'm thankful that Sierra shared this session with you.
Thank you. No, I thank Sierra for coming into this session because that was her choice. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And Sierra, is there anything else you'd like to share with your mom before we close?
Mother, I just want to say thank you. This has been so wonderful. This is, it is, and I want to say, it is like a dream, but it's much better than a dream. And I hope that I'm always able to show you just as much love as you show me, because you've taken care of me so well. And I know sometimes I'm a bit of a handful, but I can only think how much different this is going to be. Because to hear these words, it's so amazing, because I don't normally hear them this way. I do want to start talking to you. I really do. And I'll try my best. I really will try my best. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.